Hey folks, welcome to Brushippie Homestead's do-it-yourself backyard aquaponics. There, easy enough to say. In the next few videos I'm going to kind of explain what I've got going on out here. This is significantly different from what I had going on last year and the year before that and the year before that. It started several years ago with wally totes, so it's bloomed into something that's a whole lot bigger now. So I'm going to basically just kind of go through aquaponics in general today. Aquaponics is, if you're not familiar with it, it's where you raise fish in tanks and the water circulates through grow beds and you grow vegetables in the grow beds. The water goes to a sump and returns. That's basically all there is to it. Like I said, I started out with a lot smaller system, and we've grown to this, and now I've got 60 tilapia, I've got 30 tilapia in each one of these tanks, and I've got 14 goldfish that are almost as big as your hand in this tank that I've had for years, that I've been running this system off of these same fish. So, and I bought them, they were little bitty goldfish, little bitty when I bought them from Walmart, so several years later they're putting out a whole lot more than they were before, so they'll last forever. These tanks are IBC totes, and they hold about 275 gallons of water apiece. So my entire system is in the neighborhood of 1,000 gallons. So it's not a small system anymore. But like I said, I'll take you through what I've put together and show you how it's working for me. Now, I'm not an expert. I'm a student of this, and I'm not claiming to be an expert. There's 100 different ways to do this. This is just the way I do it. I have recovered almost everything in this system except for the PVC and the pumps, obviously. But all of this stuff is all recovered. Now, this is an old greenhouse that I didn't have all the parts for, and this is some metal off a trailer house we took apart. So you can do this on a budget. You just kind of gotta get out there and look around. There's all kinds. These totes are everywhere. Most of them want around 80 bucks and up for them now. So I'll take you through how this thing works. Follow me. Alright, we're inside the belly of the beast. Okay, these are IBC tote tanks. This is, I've got 3 of these tied together. You've got a manifold on the bottom that connects them through the drains that they come with. And this runs into the bottom of a settling tank. This is for settling out solids. And this runs through that tank into that tank right there, which is the biofilter. See the media moving around in there. We got my air tank. I've got a temperature gauge there so I can tell what the temperature is. Here's the biofilter again. Water comes right out of this, down this line, through this series of filters here. Then it just runs out into the beds. He says these are the tops to 2 of those totes. And down that way is a 16-foot bass boat that I'm using for both dual root zone and deep water culture. So I'll explain more about that later on. So at the end of this, there's a line that runs right back over here. There it is right there. Runs over here and makes it. It's tied into the drain from that bed over there, and then it runs down here to the sump. And the sump tank is where the pump is. Notice that the pump is below the water level, so you never have issues with it priming. The ideal, obviously, is to produce food and fish. You eat the fish, you eat the vegetables out of the garden. I've got some strawberries in here. These are tomato plants that are going on 2 years old. These are cherry tomatoes that were suckers that I cut off of these plants over here. This is four tomato plants in basically an improvised dual root zone system, and they are doing quite well. Now this thing's 7 feet tall, and they're going 10 foot down the way there. So this is the raft bed, and that's just 3 pieces of foam with holes cut in it, 1.5 inches thick. I've got all kinds of crap in here. I had some broccoli back there that the worms got to and ate them up pretty quick. And these are some dual root zone deals that didn't work out for me. I tried using a different kind. That's cocoa coir or whatever they call it. I use for media, but it works okay if you've got nutrient running through it all the time, but these don't. So that didn't work out, so I got to change it up a little bit. So anyway, well, that was just a quick run through of what it is, and just basic knowledge. Next time I'll go more into what all is involved. It's not like I said, I'm not an expert. It's not cheap. It's not. This is cheap because I don't have anything in the material really, except for, like I say, pump and PVC, and that can get expensive too. But I really don't have that much money in this right now. So you could easily put one of these together for a few $100. It's not necessarily easy to do. There's a lot involved in it, and I'll go more into that in upcoming videos. You know, how much water you need to turn over and your flow into your beds. These beds are flood and drain. They have bell siphons in them. Water runs into them all the time. The water level comes up. Once it gets goes over the sides of the bell siphon, it sucks sucks the bed dry. So every 15 or 20 minutes, those things fill and drain. So it's pretty effective, really, if it's working right. But I had a flow problem that I didn't know anything about for a couple of days, and water was standing in one of these beds, and it doesn't take long for everything to start drooping. I mean, vegetables don't typically like standing in water. They can. I mean, over in the deep water culture, the roots just suspend in water and they do fine. So I don't know what the difference is. In the media, they'll yellow if the water stays in there, but in that deep water culture, it won't. So I'm not really sure why that is. So anyway, just like before, you can catch me over at gunslingersgulch.com. We still have the gun site. YouTube won't let us put videos up, but we're still out there. Like I said, I'll be hanging out at gunslingersgulch.com. Have fun, grow some stuff, man. We'll see you next time. I'll come up with a fitting ending. It's not quite as gay as this one.